Hello, family. Welcome back. Welcome back. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Happy Spirited Planter Sunday. I'm probably going to come up with all sorts of names, guys, going forward. But anyway, hope I find you guys well this Sunday. Hope you are feeling too blessed to be stressed. All right. Now, today, guys, I got a goodie for you. I got a goodie. I am going to share with you guys one of the best planty lessons, okay, I've ever had with one of my plants in my collection. And because of that lesson, that plant is 10 times more valuable now than it ever was or could ever be, to the point where I can't even part with it. I just can't do it. I don't care how much money somebody gives me for it or offers. I'm like, no, I'm going to keep it. I'm going to keep it. So guys, some of you may be aware, okay, of the biblical text focus I'm about to give this morning. And that is, actually it's not a text, it's really a book, the book of Job, guys, the book of Job. Yep, Job. Now, for those of you who don't know, the story of Job is basically, I'm going to give it in a nutshell because obviously it's a few chapters long if you were to read it. But yeah, just look up Job, right? It looks like the word job, but it's pronounced Job, right? In the Bible, and you can read the amazing story of this man named Job. So what happened to Job was, in a nutshell, for those of you who don't know, he was a very wealthy man, really blessed by God. He was a very good man, okay? And the Bible said that he was actually perfect. One of the few, probably not the only time, I think, other than Jesus, that the Bible ever called a man perfect. Now, Job was perfect. He was very wealthy, very rich, extremely blessed, okay? Then one day, the devil comes, to God and said, hey, the only reason that Job is faithful to you, the only reason that Job, is a good, follower of you is because, okay, you have given him everything, okay? You've given him everything. He has lots of land. He has lots of animals. He has because back in those days, the amount of animals you owned really showed your wealth, right? He has like 1 million servants. Okay, but not 1 million, but a lot. Okay, he has wife. He has sons, which of course is huge, right? He has lands. He has all sorts of stuff. The man is rich. He's blessed by you, and that is why Job is being so good. So God thought about it, and he's like, well, I know that ain't true, but I'm going to prove it. All right, Satan, go ahead. However, just remember this little caveat. You cannot take Job's life, okay? You can't destroy him completely. No. I will not stand for that. But otherwise, go ahead and test my servant Job, okay? Because God knew that Job didn't love God because God gave him stuff, okay? It's because Job loved God because Job knew who God is, right? So anyway, make a long story short, the devil tries everything, man. He unleashes diseases, he unleashes death, destruction, all sorts of stuff on Job. He gave Job, sores all over his body, and God stood back and he allowed that to happen because he wanted Job to prove, to show why, that he didn't love God because of the things God gave him. So anyway, in the end, make long story short, guys, after a whole lot of horrible things happened to Job, which would, I think, destroy many of us, okay, Job still never cursed God. He even had people in his life, like I think his wife and some other friends of his were like, oh, just curse God and die kind of attitude, right? Like, we probably know some people like that. When things go wrong in life, they want you to just, forget this Christian business. Forget this God business. Can't you see God isn't, he doesn't care about you. I mean, if God cared about you, why is your mother dead? If God cared about you, why'd you lose your job? If God is in control, how come you're poor? Just curse God and die. Do whatever. Yeah, we know those people, guys. We know those people. Job had those same kind of people around him. And he didn't fall for it, though. He's like, nah, who am I? Who am I? Who am I to do this or that? I mean, I'm just a guy, okay? God is God. God is God, okay? So, in the end, Job remained faithful as God knew he would, because God knew Job's heart. And in the end, Satan failed, obviously. And God doubled every single thing that Job had before. So let's say Job had, now you're gonna have to read to see the details, but let's say Job had, 2 sons before this happened. Well, he ended up with 4. And let's say Job had, I don't know, 500 acres of land. Well, he ended up with 1,000. Basically, God doubled everything that Job had before that he had lost, or. So, listen, sometimes in life, you know, we're going to go through some terrible stuff, okay? And we're going to lose stuff, okay? Even our own health, guys, even your health. Because, yeah, Satan would be more than happy to destroy your health. And he does sometimes. But God is able to restore. And you're thinking, where does the plant come in? Casey, where does the plant come in? Well, I'll show you. So now I'm going to turn the camera, okay? And I'm going to go around. No, wait. Let's go this way, guys. Let's go this way. All right. So, now I'm going to flip the camera. Ha. So here we have my greenhouse, as you know. Okay? Now, this is going to be tricky, guys, because I only got one hand for this. But let me start by unzipping my little greenhouse flap right here. And I'll show you why I have a plant that reminds me of the story of Job in the Bible. So, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to grab, actually, first let's take a good look at them. Okay, one sec here. See if I can make sure I got a view, and I'm going to try to be in the shot, guys. But see these 2 plants right here? These 2. 1, 2. Okay. Yep, there we go. 1 and 2. 1, 2. Now these plants, for those of you who know plants or intrigued by plants, this plant is called the Anthurium Vittarifolium. It is a bit of a rare plant. Not something that you would see just anywhere, and a bit pricey, to be honest. And of course, I love to collect plants, as you could probably tell, right? Yeah, I love to, there's a lot of plants, right? And I wanted this plant so bad, and I got it. I got it, guys. And it was like one of the last few plants left when this particular shop that sells specialty plants, and they're not all everywhere, guys. Not easy to come by. They had posted this plant in the middle of the pandemic, I think about a year and change ago, year and a half ago or so. And I couldn't believe it. I ordered it online because you were not allowed to shop in the stores. And it was like winning the lottery, because I tried before to get other plants from them. And every time I would try, they'd run out of stock in like literally less than an hour. The minute the stuff was posted, they were like sold out. So I got my hands on this plant, and I was on a total high. So paid my, good money. We're talking a few $10 bills here, guys, a few $10 bills. Okay. And, went to pick it up. Yep. Drove all the way, like a half an hour drive to go get this plant, and picked it up from the store. And it was like, just, you're not allowed to shop around the store. You're just allowed to just take things and go, right? Because like I said, it was in the middle of a lockdown. And I was on a high. I picked it up, and I remember thinking, when I picked it up, I was like, oh my gosh, it's so pretty. But, and it was much bigger than this, guys. I remember thinking, why are the leaves yellowy? The largest leaves had a yellow tinge along the edge, and it only had one leaf that looked, solid green, but still not a good solid green. And I was like, well, I bought from that place before. There's no way they're going to sell me a bad plant, right? Oh, you live and you learn, guys. You live and you learn. So anyway, I took my plant, okay? And let's pull it out. Let's see if we can, yeah. Getting tired of bending over, guys. Took off my glasses because I can't see this thing on if I keep the glasses on. Anyway, it's a very pretty plant. And these are seedlings, okay? Now, the Anthurium Vittarifolium will become quite pendulous as it ages. So this thing is going to grow like a couple of feet or more in length, and it will just hang down and look absolutely gorgeous. You can Google it. But story time, okay? Yeah. This plant that I paid good money for. Within 3 days of this plant coming to my home, in perfect condition. Yeah, a greenhouse. That's where it was. It was in the greenhouse from day one, living the best life, has circulation fan in the corner there, humidity from the mister. When humidity drops anywhere below 60, it, I would have that on. As you see, you can see it misting right now. Okay, little corner right there. Okay, perfect lighting from full spectrum LED lighting for plants, guys. Not cheap. Yeah, this plant turned completely yellow in less than a week. All the leaves fell off. Yep, every leaf fell off. And if it couldn't get any worse, okay, the stem started to turn yellow as well. Yeah. So, of course, I'm in a panic. I'm like, and there's no refund. Yeah. And I called the store and I'm like, hey, I think, something's wrong with the plant that you guys sold me. And the lady was like, oh, okay. And I'm sure they knew, guys. So what I think they really did was they didn't acclimatize the plants from when they were shipped from overseas, because they just wanted the money. Yeah. So anyway, the plant went into complete shock from being ripped out from Indonesia, or wherever they're from. Forgot where they're from, but probably something like that, or the jungles of South America, or wherever they're from, okay? And it went into complete shock and decided, nope, I'm just gonna die. Which happens sometimes, okay? But when the plant is pricey, and we're talking, close to 3 digits, yeah, you're gonna cry. You're gonna cry. So anyway, it kept rotting, and the lady just said, oh, I don't know. I said, well, I've tried everything. I told her. I said, I have tried. It's in a greenhouse. It has perfect condition. It's like, 80% humidity all the time. It has completely perfect lighting. It has perfect air circulation. I even gave it new soil mix, which is basically moss and, stuff like that. The minute she heard new soil, she used that as the excuse as to why. Sorry, there's nothing we can do for you. You repotted it. And I'm like, well, yeah, because I was trying to save it. She's like, no, sorry, nothing I can do. I'm like, nothing, not even half? Half my money? No, sorry, no. Be careful who you shop with, guys. Be very careful which vendors you use when you're buying rare plants that are pricey. Because some people are unscrupulous and they're only in the business to make money, and they don't care about you. They don't care about quality. They don't care. This place is also known to give people plants with bugs. Needless to say, I have not returned there. I refuse to go back to that store ever again. I don't care what they're selling. I'll get it elsewhere. Anyway, the plant rotted and rotted and rotted and rotted. Hold on, guys. Let me readjust this so that I can have my arm at a different angle, because it's getting numb. All right, so the plant kept rotting, guys. Make long story short, the plant actually rotted down to a stem that was about this big. Okay, yeah, right up to here on my finger. That's it. From a huge, not huge, but a pretty good sized plant with about, I think the longest leaf was knocking almost 5 inches thereabouts when I got it. So imagine that. It was actually slightly, I think the plant I got was about this size, and just with way less leaves. It only had 2.5 leaves. Okay, so my plant now has, as you can see, many leaves. Let me be careful so I don't actually dump it out. But yeah, it rotted down to that little piece of stem. Then the roots rotted off. And I kept trying and trying. I literally was praying, guys. I literally said, God, can you help me save my plant? I know it seems insignificant, but please just help me save my plant. So I kept cutting off the rotting pieces until, as I said, I was left with literally a teeny piece of stem. No leaves, no roots. But based on research and just know-how after years of growing, some rare plants, etc., I knew that, nodes are on stems, okay? And the nodes can actually make a new plant if given absolutely perfect conditions and care, which is what, by God's grace, I did, guys. I was dipping that stem in cinnamon powder to stop the fungal growth or anything, bacteria. I was dipping that thing in cinnamon, okay? Because cinnamon is a natural antifungal, okay? I was dipping that thing in hydrogen peroxide for the same reason. I was cutting off every milliliter of rot. I was on that stem like a bee on a flower, guys. I was on it, and I just gave, please God, please, please, please. I know it seems insignificant, but I spent good money and I really need my plant to live. And I kept going, guys. I had the stem in moss. Then I had the stem in moss and perlite, I think. I kept switching back and forth to see what will get it to thrive. What will get the stem to not turn yellow any further? Well, needless to say, after weeks, okay, of trial and tribulation, the stem, I should say, the little teeny weeny piece of stem, which is like at that point about an inch and a quarter in length, skinny little stem, that was it. That's all I had. Guys, I noticed one day a teeny little root. And I was like, oh. Then, a few weeks later, itsy bitsy teeny. Like guys, I can't even describe it to you. The smallest leaf known to man popped out of that little teeny weeny 1.25 inch stem, guys. Yeah, I kept going. I was like, Lord, you are God. I kept going. And then, guys, fast forward 1 year later. 1 year. 1 whole year. I hope you can see me because my glasses, I can't see. I'm blind. And I'm sleep deprived because I keep staying up too late potting plants. Anyway, 1 whole year, guys. Isn't God good? But, guys, here is the Job moment. Here is the lesson. Because not only did I manage by God's grace and mercy, trust me, to revive that plant, as you can see, it is beautiful, and you probably can't see because the lighting, I don't know, it's washing it out. But the leaves are actually quite satin looking, and the older they get, the more satin they will look. Literally look like satin. There's a beautiful sheen to them that gets more pronounced as they age, as they become pendulous. Okay. Not only do I have this, but don't forget, at the beginning of the video, I showed you, I'm gonna sit on the edge here, I showed you 2. And you're thinking, how did she, she propagated it. She cut the stem when it grew. Nope, I didn't. I did not propagate the plant, guys. So one day what happened was, I think it was, let me see. I have labels in here, but it's hard to do with one hand. I think it was, oh dear, maybe, let's see if I can find a label that will tell me. January 2022. Oh yeah, there we go. I see it on the other one. So what happened was, in January of this year, I said, the seedling was starting to look, like it was being deprived of nutrition. It was starting to look, the leaves never were looking very green. So I said, okay, they're looking too yellowy green, and it looks healthy otherwise, but it looks like it needs like food at this point. Because remember, up to now, this plant was in nothing but perlite. Because perlite, by the way, is what I succeeded in getting it to grow a good, few number of roots and the leaf to continue to grow up, right? Perlite works wonders, guys. Trust me. If you want to reroot something that's dying, choose perlite. But anyway, And I said, well, it's time to repot it, time to put it into, you know, actual medium. Okay, as you can see, I'll use the other one. It's growing in, I hope you can see that. It is growing in sphagnum moss, perlite, bark, and a bit of charcoal. There's no dirt in there, like there's no, you know, potting soil or anything. So that's what the plant is actually growing in. And what I do is I fertilize them about once every, I would say once every 2 weeks or so. It gets a bit of fertilizer. Okay, weak fertilizer, because I don't want to burn them, but they're strong now. They could probably take full dose. But anyway, I went in to repot the plant. Okay, and I thought, okay, and of course the plant was probably a little more than half the size of these that you see now. So I went to put it into, like I said, the mix that it's in now. And I'm washing off all the, you know, the perlite and carefully trying to damage the little delicate roots that it formed, guys. And all of a sudden, there's a Job moment, guys. God restores double. I washed the perlite off slowly but surely off this little plant that I've been nurturing for 1 year. Yeah. And as I was doing that, a piece of it fell. And I was like, oh. But then I looked closely. I was like, wait, I didn't break anything. Guys, do you know what God did? That 1¼ inch leafless, rootless, almost dead stem that I ended up with, okay, that I worked hard and I suffered, shed a little tear for the money, you know, and the meanness of that store. 2 plants. The stem developed into 2 whole separate plants. I don't know how. I don't care how God did it. All I know is God did it. I love it. I celebrate it. And there it is. 2 Anthurium Vittarifolium for the price of 1. God restores. That's the lesson today, guys. That's the lesson I learned that I already knew, but God reiterated it for me. God restores. God doubles your blessing. If you stay faithful and you stay true, God will restore what you lost. God will even double your blessing. Don't you worry about what's ever happening in your life today. Learn the lesson of Job. Learn from the lesson of my beautiful Anthurium Vittarifoliums, guys. Look at them. Look at them. I almost lost one. I suffered with one. I bought one. And God, in the end, gave me 2. All right, guys. That's it today. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you enjoyed the lesson. Run with it, guys. Run with it. Run with it. God is good. He will double your blessing. And He will show you in many ways how He's able to do it. As He doubled Job's blessing in the end after a little suffering or a whole lot of suffering, He doubled my blessing with this Anthurium Vittarifolium. And I can't sell these. Don't even ask me for them. Forget it. I'm not giving it to nobody. Every time I look at these 2 Anthurium Vittarifoliums, all I see is God's blessing. All right, guys, that's it. That's it for the video today. All right. You know what I always say. Number 1, don't forget to subscribe, eh? While you're looking at my video, you don't even subscribe. Come on now. Hit the subscribe button. It's free enough. Free. Best price ever. Subscribe. Share my video, guys. Share the video. Share the love. Share the blessing. I got more for you. Every week, I come up with something. God's going to give me something to encourage you and to share the joys of plants. All right? So, I love you. God loves you. God loves you. So love each other, man. It's not that hard. Casey,